that was a great opportunity though, because I got to see the behind the scenes part of
Yeah.
like the business side of DFW Airport and how important it is to them branding.
Yeah.
When they open a restaurant, what they do, the steps
I
that
love
they
that.
take to make sure that that restaurant's going to be successful.
Right.
You know, because it goes back probably 4 years prior to construction that
Yeah.
the contract is actually done.
Welcome back. This is our new Epic Podcast series where we talk about extraordinary practices, putting concepts, and building who you are into 2023 and beyond. And I've got my good friend. I say good friend, dude, because we go way back.
Yes.
Like we going way back. We got Sheldon Cooksey here. Sheldon, we actually met in June. Was it junior high?
Yeah, 7th grade.
Dude, this is some gun gators up in here. But Sheldon is now in real estate and he is absolutely killing it on social media.
Appreciate that.
So that's why I wanted to bring him in here. But tell me a little bit. You're with Portfolio Real Estate Group, correct? So where are they out of?
So we're out of Richardson. We're with Garbo and Associates.
Okay.
So Subi is our broker.
Okay.
Subi Gobra is our broker, and like I said, we're off of Centennial in Richardson.
Okay.
But a lot of the team is actually spread out throughout the Metroplex.
I love that.
So some of us are up in North Salina area. One of us is down over in, 2 of us are in Fort Worth.
Okay.
So I'm in North Fort Worth. We have one down in South Fort Worth.
Fantastic.
We have one in East Texas out in the Tyler area.
That's where I'm going.
And
Yep.
we have someone that works out here in the Mansfield, Arlington area as well too.
So I love that because brokerages right now, or when we're kind of talking about this off air, is the brokerages right now are some kind of like niche down to like a zip code now.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the fact that you guys like surround yourself and basically go walls in, right? Like you're going DFW in, and that's what's crazy. So we're talking about today of basically how 5 ways we can build a brand and how to overcome anything in this market and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt that you were the perfect person for this because you literally have built your brand and who you are on social media.
Yes.
So we're talking about ways how this is for loan officers. This is for real estate agents. So tell me, Sheldon, you've been doing this now for 2 years now.
Correct.
And you just went all in on social. You were like, just let me pull the Band-Aid off. Let me because before that, y'all, Sheldon's amazing. Tell me a little bit. You were in the bartending world and manager. Like I used to see you like at the airport, like flinging bottles at the airport.
So let's see. After college, I kind of went and worked at the DFW airport.
Okay.
I met an investor guy who owned some restaurants out there, and he used to come into my Chili's on Arlington and just said, "Hey, I have an opportunity for you at the airport." So I took the opportunity to go out there and start working. Great money.
Yeah.
Changed my life in the sense of doubling what I was making street side to where especially with a young child. I had a daughter at 22 years old. So that helped, pay the bills and kind of make life a little straight.
Right.
But after I graduated from UTA in 2010.
Okay.
So right when everybody's getting laid off.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find a marketing job and no one's like, no.
You're like, why in the heck would I market in 2010?
And, he mentioned to me, we had a manager with our company that needed knee surgery.
Yeah.
They came to me and asked me, "Hey, I know you just graduated. Would you be interested in kind of filling in for him for a little bit?" And I'd already been told by every manager I had that you make a great manager. So I was like, you know what? No one's hiring right now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's jump in. So I jumped into restaurant management.
Good.
That led me to the opportunity to open, if you travel through DFW Airport, La Madeline, California Pizza Kitchen.
I know. I used to see you. I was like,
Club.
dude, you're like hopping here, but it's so cool. Like you're the one like spearheading this and opening up. And that takes a lot of integrity though. That takes a lot of building and probably a lot of mindset too.
Yeah, it was because definitely we opened 3 restaurants in 7 months.
Yeah.
And that's hiring and training probably over 200 people.
That's crazy.
Working about 6 a.m. to 7 or 8 p.m.
Yeah.
sometimes. And getting a phone call from my wife, are you coming home? And
you're like, no, I got a couple more. Like, I got to open up this restaurant here.
We're almost there. So, that was a great opportunity, though, because I got to see the behind the scenes part of like, the business side of DFW Airport and how important it is to them branding.
Yeah.
When they open a restaurant, what they do, the steps that they take to make sure that that restaurant's going to be successful.
Right.
because it goes back probably 4 years prior to construction that the contract is actually done or the brand. And then you have all this build up to it. And then the opening is the release party per se.
So would you say being in the restaurant industry has actually helped you catapult your real estate industry on your brand?
Yes. Because talking to people daily, each and everybody in a restaurant, no day is the same, right? I go into work and I have to react to what's happening in real time. The kitchen's behind and I see guests are mad and there's babies crying out on the floor. You've got a bartender who just cut their finger, all these things. So you've got to learn to multitask. And the same thing in real estate, there's not just one thing that you can focus on. You have to focus on, I'm talking to my clients. Okay, I have to make sure that contract got sent out. I have showings at this time. So there's a lot of things. So I think restaurants really helped me be able to not stress about that because I've been doing it. It's just a different industry that I'm applying to what I'm doing with the multitasking.
It is. So what would you say is the one part for any maybe new loan officer or new real estate agent that they need to start today on their branding going into the new year and beyond?
I really think pick up the camera, your phone. I really think that's number one is take that chance. Don't be scared.
Okay.
We have one life. We get one crack at this, right? So, I mean, that's why I was like, go all in real estate as far as social media marketing.
And you can't you have to rip the Band-Aid off. And that's the biggest thing and the biggest challenge and the biggest struggle I see for anybody. Like loan officers, title company, doesn't matter. Like they're scared, the scarcity mindset of what if.
Yes.
So what if, and how do you overcome the, I don't look good, I sound bad, I'm going to flub. How do you overcome that?
Try to be myself. So in the sense of you think about every day that I do turn the camera on. Yes, I do try to make sure that I look presentable.
He's got to look pretty. Look at his hair, y'all. He's got to look
sure
pretty.
I look presentable. But also too, it's just they have to understand that I'm me. And I think social media has sometimes changed our mindset that everything needs to be perfect. And people need to understand and know that, hey, oh my God, did Sheldon stumble over his words? And I don't start over. And I just keep going. Or I might be, my shirt collar might be popped up a little bit. And I'm like,
Heavens forbid, Glenda's done that before.
My content was great. And I don't care because guess what? That's me. And I think if people that follow me, you see me when I don't talk about real estate, you see my personality.
Right.
So then therefore, that's me and I'm genuine and I'm being myself. I love to have my family involved in social media, things that I'm out doing in the community. It's not just all real estate. I tried at first to have two separate a business and
that's hard.
I drove myself crazy.
And you will, right? So do you focus all in on one platform or do you spread your wealth? Because that's a big challenge and a hurdle from real estate agents. So do you spread your wealth beyond the platforms or do you just go all in on one?
So it's kind of a mixed bag. So Instagram is my all in.
Okay.
TikTok has become one that I do realize I need to understand a little bit better. And the more posting on TikTok because I think TikTok has a bigger reach to just general people that you can pull in. So I think I post on TikTok, but just not as much as I want to. YouTube has definitely been topic of conversation. I have some of the equipment. I have a nice Nikon camera I bought a couple years ago for $1,000 that I barely use. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should put that on a tripod and start to use the 4K ability of that.
Or use your phone 4K ability. That's a big thing that kind of changed my trajectory in 2022 is I just flipped my camera around and now it's 4K. And when you set it up and again, that's a struggle for real estate agents because they feel they have to go out and spend thousands of dollars on this. But if you have your phone to get started and a $20, and they used to be like ring lights used to be $200, $300 pre-COVID. Now you can get one for $19.99 anywhere.
We're all stuck in the house bored.
Y'all, Amazon can give you a ring light for $19.99 and have it at your doorstep tomorrow.
Today, maybe.
I mean, depending on if you're by Walmart, y'all can even drone it to Walmart now.
And the crazy thing is, like I said, YouTube is the next this year. So it's kind of like I've built up on it.
It's a great focus.
Year one was Instagram. Year two, I did start to pull TikTok in more. And then it's year three, I told myself YouTube needs to be more of a focus this year. So like I said, I can do a 5-minute session or whatever it may be, maybe 10 minutes, and then be able to chop that down and still use that and have content and not burn out in a sense of like, I've got to create content. You've got it. Just break it down into segments and then continue to sprinkle it out there.
And YouTube now has a clip feature on there, which is super cool because they know you're going to microclip it, which means you're going to take your long form video. Because consumers still need short form video because now the brain, because of TikTok, is 8 seconds. So now the micro clip, you basically take it out of there and you're going to repurpose that video. So we like to call it evergreen, right? Because it's evergreen on one platform. It's your resource library. And then you're going to spread it, the wealth between every single, everything else. So we talked about your Instagram platform. What and how do you come up with the content?
Okay. So I will say, generally at first it was when I first started real estate. Before I even got into it, I used to watch $1 Million Listing. New York.
Who didn't, right?
So that's what got my interest from the marketing standpoint of the content creation, because Ryan and Frederick's mindset about things that they would do and just how they would come up with the content or to try to get a news on a property out to people. I used to always tell my wife, I'm like, these guys, like their thought process on it. So with Instagram, it was like, okay, people like homes, they like to see the visual. So at first it was pictures, and it was really, everything was still the first year. I would say I took a lot of pictures, and you don't see a lot of video. Year 2, that kind of switched a little bit because obviously video's taking off where, the numbers out there say people are watching videos more. So you need to have some video content. So I started with taking home tours and slicing it down to a minute so I could put it in as a reel.
So you're just telling me, I'm gonna stop you real quick. You're telling me your content is a 1 minute reel from a video that you're never actually on the like you're not physically in.
When I do home tours,
that's game changing. That is game changing. And that is the single most thing that real estate agents are missing, because how many times do you go to open houses? How many times do you have to go show that one buyer 48 properties? That is 48 pieces of content that people don't realize that you can use, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's glorious.
Yeah, because I like when I do a showing, I usually email the clients all the list of the houses that we're gonna see, so that way they have that information, so we can talk about it and pull it up and we're looking at it. But as soon as we walk in the door, I talk about the features of the house, but I step back. I don't follow them around, and I'll let them know, hey, while you guys are doing it, I'm gonna.
Sheldon's over here doing his own video for his content.
As soon as they turn the corner, I'm like, camera out. All right, pictures.
Dude, that's glorious though.
But that's because like you said, it's content, and I don't have to use it all that day. I can just show you a little bit. A couple of pictures of just the bathroom. And the primary bedroom, and not the rest of the house, because I need to tease you in order to get you to come back to be like, would you like to see the rest of the house?
Yes.
I don't schedule my reels right now. That's something that I'm thinking about for the future, but that's, it's like, hey, we'll come back on Thursday, check it out on Thursday. You might get to see the whole house.
And you can slide that in your stories and be like, hey, come check it out on Thursday. And we're going to do that. So how do you build your actual brand using all of this content you have? How would you say you've built your brand on social media and really on Instagram platform? Because that's really where it's going to be, from here on out. How would you say you would actually build yourself and your brand on social?
So for me personally, image as far as projection of what I put out matters. So then I think the consistency of the content that you put out of how it looks.
Dude, that's awesome.
So like you said, if you don't have the greatest phone right now or whatever, or your camera's not the greatest, but you're able to give educational content, but people can hear what you're saying and they start following you. It's okay that all your videos look like that, because regardless, the people are following you, right? So they're not caring about what the quality of the video looks like, because you're speaking to something that they want to hear.
Right. And it's the know, like, and trust factor. Right.
Someone has to know and trust you. And that's why I threw out the business Instagram and said, you know what, I'm going to open it up. And I talked to my wife before I did it. I told her, like, look, I'm just going to do one Instagram. I said, the family, the kids are going to be in there every now and then. And she was cool with it, So, because I said, I want people to trust and know me. And like you said, it's that know and trust factor. And if they know behind the scenes, he's a dad, God, he's real estate. Oh, he goes to the gym at this time in the morning. Like, I have friends that do message me. I don't understand how you get up that early. I'm like, I do.
Because that's a mindset and an accountability for you and your family.
Yes.
And I love the fact that you talk to your spouse about that, to basically give them the aha and the yes to do that.
Kids might be on Instagram. They might blow up one day. I don't know. Because my son, my 3-year-old, he can get a little crazy sometimes.
Right.
But he loves to go to houses, and he loves to put the key back in the super box. You know? So I like to show that if he is with me.
And that's being relatable.
Yes.
And I think that's the big hurdle for a lot of people is, I don't want my kids on the social platform that's going to reach 1 million people. Mm-hmm. And one of my loan officer friends has kind of taken it to the next step, is they put their kids on there, but it's only like the back of the head. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like that know, like, and trust factor of how you're going to build who you are. Yes. But if someone doesn't know, like me, I love to drink wine. So guess what? You're going to see wine. You're going to see football. You're going to see sports. You're going to see me at Arlington games. Like football. I see even Sheldon.
I've known that since 7th grade. Be on the sidelines yelling as a cheerleader.
But that's where my people come from. That's where my real estate agents come from. That's how we have that know, like, and trust factor. And if you don't portray that on social media, that gives a negative mindset of the like you said before, the perfectionist. Mm-hmm. So how do they rip the Band-Aid off besides just getting a phone, right? Because if you have an 11 and above, by the way, an 11 above iPhone or Galaxy, whatever the heck the name is, that phone is 4K, by the way, 11 and above. And if you have under 11 in your real estate, maybe you need to go to the Apple store today.
Yes.
I mean, you really do, because I can see those sideways pictures, Cookie, on that. Mm-hmm. So tell me, Sheldon, what's kind of the one hurdle you have on social media for that branding?
I think I will say we all get caught up in the follower count.
Yeah.
And that can mess with your mindset. And I think one thing I've learned in real estate is this is a mental game too, mm-hmm. And I think, like you said, ripping the Band-Aid off, it's more of just find what you're going to talk about and have confidence in what you're speaking about. Mm-hmm. So like, if you're like, okay, I live in Dallas, Fort Worth. I live in Fort Worth myself. Why would someone want to move to Fort Worth? Well, let me give them reasons of things that to do here. So when I do speak that very first time on camera, I know exactly what I'm talking about. I feel more confident. Yeah. You can look at my first videos and go back. I had a friend tell me, you look down a lot, and that was I had to get the confidence in the sense to start to look up and stare in the camera and really talk to people. And then once you start to feel better and you do it more and more, you can talk to the camera, and then you don't care that you're at the gym and you're talking to people are right there. Like now I'm to the point that when you see me walking into the gym, people are probably looking at me like, what is he doing? It is 4:55 in the morning. He is, hey guys.
You're like, yes, I am, because I don't care.
You just kind of have to, like I said, rip it off. I made my first reel. I was at a summit, Tom Ferry Summit.
Love Tom Ferry.
His marketing guy was on stage. This was last year. He was on stage, and we were doing it virtually. And he's told everyone, get your camera out now. And I mean, if you watch my first reel, you see it's taking care of business. Uh-huh. That was the song they asked us to play, and he said, stare into the camera. Like, don't take your eyes off. And I'm like sitting on the couch.
You're like, this is so weird. It's awkward.
Oh boy. I was like, I've just put a lot of pictures out, of houses. I haven't really, it's my first reel. Like, I haven't done that.
That's hilarious.
And so that, that was step one. And that's what I tell everyone, just start. Yeah. It doesn't, like you said, it could be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be the next day.
It should be yesterday, but we need to start today.
Let's start.
Because it's going to take 90 days to start kind of making the algorithm and the reflection work of, is it actually reaching anybody?
Exactly.
And I always tell people, like, if you're not comfortable on video, do your home tours first to get used to it.
And that's the part that I did. If you watch, you'll see you can see my progression through my feed. I haven't erased anything.
And you shouldn't, right? Like every podcast and every social media person says, keep it up there, because you have to know where you grow from to know where you started.
Exactly.
And it's so amazing, Sheldon, that you started not so long ago. This is the hurdles that even longtime agents, they're like, I just can't do it. What would you tell that person if they just can't do it?
Do it. You have to. Yeah. You have to, because like when you think about,
I feel like that was a Nike commercial. Hey, Nike, here we go.
Hey, where's my check? But just do it. In a sense, when you look at your family, you're looking around at your house, you're looking at your car, you have bills to pay, right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you don't, And as this industry is changing and those agents that are visible are being seen, and that's where people are. Where did you find them? Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, and you're still, I'm not saying mailers are bad, but I don't pay attention to agents sending me stuff in the mail. And I'm an agent myself.
Right.
So it works, it does, but I just think the archaic way of doing things, you have to evolve. And what I love to see on Instagram or TikTok, I love an agent that's probably 50 plus.
Absolutely. I'm like, you go.
They are in their house, and I can tell.
And they're trying.
Yeah. I usually throw a like on there. Yes. I comment and tell them, hey, great job. Like, because they need that encouragement, because they are stepping out of a major comfort zone.
It's amazing to see that. And not that Sheldon and I are too far off from 50, but I say we're in that age of, we're that 78 to 82 babies. So we were here when technology became, because we were in high school. I remember in high school, like that's when, AOL came out, but then we had typing classes, which was new. But then, but then when we had our kids in 2003 to 4, that's when the iPhone came out. So we have that dual technology that we like technology, but we like paper. And anybody basically above 45 is like, like, what do I need to do?
And we're more comfortable with it because, like you said, we grew up with it. So, like, if your grandparents, our parents,
my grandma, as my mother-in-law asked for an iPhone, y'all. She turned 80 this week, and I was like, yes.
FaceTiming grandma.
I was like, we're gonna get you up on Facebook.
Yeah, it's funny me and my family, we have a group, like we'll talk FaceTime, and I send out like a Zoom link.
Yeah.
My sorry, Mom. She's always the one struggling. She'll have her picture on, but video. We're all her audio. We're all texting her, do this, do that, do this. She's like, and then 10 minutes, we're all talking as a family. Then, can y'all hear me? She finally on there.
Oh my gosh.
So that's like I said, the agents that are older.
Yeah.
I love to see that, because they decided, right? And I may go and look, and they may have 3 videos.
But they took that step.
Like they're starting. They
took that step.
And I think it'll be fun. It'll be great to see them a year from now.
Yeah.
With how they may change, shoulders back more, talking more directly in the camera. And I can say, hey, great job. I watched some of your videos from when you first started. I just want to tell you how great it is to see you evolve, your confidence, the content that you're putting out, and then therefore you've built an ally, right?
Yeah.
And they may not live in this state, and you've connected with someone, and maybe now you have a referral partner as well too.
And there it is, engagement. That's the one pitfall. And like we talk about, there's one pitfall. Well, there's a lot of many pitfalls, but social is a social engagement. You don't know of who's going to refer you just because you gave them that positive affirmation that everybody's looking for right now.
Correct.
And I applaud you so much for that, because that is the one piece on social that people are missing, is they go just like a comment and they're like, they get out of the platform. Well, platforms give you a pat on the back if you stay on their platform. So how much time do you spend on Instagram?
Daily. So I'll say when I'm at the gym, I'm at the gym for about 90 minutes. I'll probably say I'm on Instagram for about 30 minutes.
Okay.
During that time.
Yeah, absolutely. Sets. And you're engaging, you're commenting. Are you just liking it? Are you sliding into DMs? Like I'm that's like getting direct.
There's an agent in Florida I talk to. There's an agent in the DC area I'm connected with. There's an agent in 2 agents in DC. There's an agent in Hawaii I talk to.
Yeah.
There's an agent in Idaho. We comment. We talk and laugh at each other's videos because we're all out doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But then I may be editing a reel.
Yeah.
I may be on the Stairmaster trying to keep my balance while I'm trying to,
man, that's multitasking right there. That's dedication.
Make the reel look right. And I sit there and watch it over a few times, and I'm like, okay, cool. That looks good.
Yeah.
But those are the things that I'm doing at the gym. And like I said, that's 30 minutes, and usually sometime midday, around lunchtime, we probably all are like, I need a break. Let me just check out and see if anything's popped up that I've missed. from either one of my teammates, maybe a client of mine, maybe posted something because I love to interact with my clients, on there as well too. Or, there may be some news that came out that I just didn't hear. Interest rates, the Fed met that.
Right.
And I may get it from you. Sometimes I see it because you may be on social media and I see that you've spoken on it.
Right.
I may see someone else, or I may get a news notification. So I try to make sure that early morning, midday, and an evening time, it's probably about another 30 minutes.
So you're talking in whole, maybe an hour and a half, because that's kind of a myth and a misconception of, you're on social media for 8, 10, 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
I'm personally only on it like an hour a day. I do morning and then evening. I probably should implement in the midday strategy. So, I mean, that's a really great tip, is you don't have to be on social long. But it's social engagement, because you can't pick up the phone. You can't just go look at the yellow pages and be like, oh, let me go do this. But it's like yesterday, I was here with an agent. My daughter works at an Italian restaurant in Midlothian. So she said, hey, come up. The owner wants to give out some Stella Rosa for holiday. By the way, go to Bellucci today. This is not going to air till January, but y'all should go back to Bellucci. And she said, hey, Glenda, I know you have a really good social platform. Can you go ahead and post it? So I literally stopped what I was doing. I went over because it was going down my house, and I turned around, put the video on. I'm like, hey, stop by Bellucci. She had like 15 people show up because of that video.
Really? Nice.
It's like, dude,
Yep.
It's about social validation. That's going to be kind of my word going into 2023, because do you feel that if your parents give a referral for, hey, you need to go to Sheldon, do you feel that, maybe the next person is going on social to validate who you are?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So this is a crazy story. So a lot of my business has been through my sphere or through referral networks or whatever it may be. Right. So I just had my first client actually reach out through social media.
Yeah.
And he messaged me the other day because I posted a house coming out of the front door all the way through the kitchen area. And he was like, and I said, DM me for more info. And he DM'd me for more info.
Call to action.
And we started talking and found out, hey, they're planning to move here next fall.
Yeah.
They're looking for a house on 5 acres minimum.
Yeah.
Anywhere within the DFW area. And he said a $700,000 budget.
Boom.
He said maybe more, if depending on what you find me.
Yeah.
And I've already started the process of talking to builders for him and getting that information to him.
Yeah.
And so we're just kind of laying a foundation right now, for what we're going to do as a path moving forward.
Yeah.
But he needs all the information because he doesn't live here.
And it's a foundation.
Yeah.
So social media is not it's fun in the sun. It's having conversations, but it is a foundation for a secondary portion of your business now.
Correct.
Because at what point can you pick up the phone and call 4,000 people in 30 seconds?
Can't.
Right?
Not effectively. You'd have to outsource that in a sense. And you're not the one talking to the people.
And then it's not true.
Yeah.
And then it's not the validation of that. And it's not the one-on-one, because it's like, hey, yes, Philippines are great. We outsource a lot of stuff. But being on social, if you reach 200, 400, 4,000, 10,000 people, eventually it's going to fruited labor come.
Yeah. And that's the whole reason. That's part of why I do social media and put the content out I do, is because you said engagement, but you want the business engagement too.
Yeah.
I want the validation of, hey, the house looks great. Oh my God, the pictures, that's great. But I am running my business through here as a part of my business through social media as well too. And so therefore, if I'm making business contacts, and it was free, I just drove.
Hold on. What did you say?
It was free.
So you are not spending any money with real estate agents in this market on a shoestring budget, or lenders on a shoestring budget. You just said you're doing this for free.
Free.
Oh,
I go to
do I have some angels that come down?
It's simply, like a few weeks ago, I started going back into the home builders and introducing myself again and saying, hey, my name is Sheldon Cooksey. I work at Portfolio Real Estate Group. I just wanted you to know who I am. I have clients I'm working with that are all price points. Curious what your current specials are. Yeah. They gave me a current specials. I said, hey, do you mind if I take video and take pictures? They're like, absolutely not. Bring me a buyer.
Right. Y'all builders are like hungry, because all those incentives that they weren't giving last year because it did, like,
the
builders
were full.
Yeah. The list were 150 people sitting in a Prosper home. And then it's like, all of a sudden they're like, hold on. There ain't nothing. So agents, I know I pissed you off last year, but come on back. But
we need you.
It's the ebbs and the flows of the real estate industry, right? Because if we always don't go to builders when the rates are down because there's so many people there, but we always don't go back because they think that they have too many spec homes. Again, you're not doing your business a service. You have to have multiple streams of how you grow your brand on, just of who you are and what you're about, because you are Sheldon Cooksey. Yes, you work for a broker, but you are building your brand on social media. So when someone says, "Hey, Sheldon, I'm ready to buy a home," they didn't follow you, the broker, in the broker's name. They followed Sheldon. Yes. They want to buy from Sheldon no matter where Sheldon is. They don't give a crap at that point. Correct. Right?
Correct. And the other thing I noticed was, by building those relationships, now I have their phone number. We've texted each other. A few of us, we've already texted each other and just said, "Hey, thank you for coming by." I'm like, absolutely. And, I'm on the email list. So now, and I told them I'm going to be coming by about once every couple months. I just wanted to pop in, and I may not always have a client with me. I may just pop in because I was in the area and I know you were working. I just wanted to say hi, and literally just that. I think for me, I'm a people person.
Yeah, you are.
If you have your yearbook, you'll see that I was voted Mr. Friendly.
Yes, he was.
And I've always been like that.
We should pull it up. I'm gonna put it on that podcast. I gotta go back and find that.
I was voted Mr. Friendly, but that's me. I've always been like that.
You have been, and that's your passion.
And so I wanted to make sure that the people that work on the other side know who I am. And if they have a client that walks in and maybe they don't have an agent, maybe I'm someone that they think about, and they reach out to me and say, "Hey, Sheldon." Because guess who called me last week? Sib.
Oh.
She was telling me some specials about the builder that she works for. She works for NAR.
That's amazing.
She called me and let me know, some information. And I was like, cool. And, I helped Sib a couple years ago. She needed an Xbox or something for her husband.
Yeah, by the way, Sheldon used to get Xboxes just out of nowhere because I don't know where you're hustling on the street. And he's like, "Oh, here's Xbox, here's Xbox." I'm like, dude, you were hustling. But, and that's, I appreciate that, because no matter where you're at, no matter what industry you're in, like, you're hustling out there. Real estate is not for the weary, especially right now.
Correct.
So what's the one thing going into the new year that real estate agents can do to be steady, mindset, branding? What do they need to focus on for 2023 and beyond?
So like me, myself, like personally, I think it's implement solid business systems.
Yeah.
So like, while it's a little slow right now, I still have clients that are looking, and I have clients that are working on their credit. While all that's taking place, let's get behind the scenes. Let me make sure my back office stuff is all good for the next year. That I have, if I have branded or colors, that I have 2023, go ahead and start to make those changes.
Yeah.
Make sure that all my contact information is up to date. If I wanted to put more systems out there, now's the time to do them as well too, and get,
because it's going to switch.
Yes,
when your downtime is here, this is a time to get your Zapier, get everything where it automates that you didn't get to do. Try new things, challenge new things, and make it once the rates go down, because the floodgates will open back up. Will it be like 2021? Probably not. But those people that have 3% will start buying again at 5%, 5.5%. Right. So what else do we have for the consumer and the real estate agent and lender going into 2023?
Also, ask for referrals. Don't be scared. I mean, that's the main thing. We are right.
Hey, Sheldon, who do you got that we can pre-approve today, buddy?
I mean, it's lead generation, right? That's what our business, your side of the business and my side is lead generation, right?
Yes.
We don't have anyone to work with if we don't have a lead from somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's when you're at the grocery store just talking to people, and you never know where that conversation may go. You're at church, you're at school. I joined the PTA. I'm not gonna lie, because
PTA is the best source. Now I'm not gonna give our source of business. Sorry, PTO. Now it's called PTA anymore.
Like, please, you're like the only guy. I'm like, we want other guys to see you.
Yeah.
Because maybe that will entice other dads.
You're like, no, dude. There's one reason I'm doing this.
No. I really just joined to be that dad, hey, real estate, but it's making sure, like I said, asking for referrals. So don't be scared when you close on a house. Your clients are in that great mood. Now's the time to ask, hey, do you have any friends, family that
coworkers? Let's add coworkers in there.
Exactly. That are thinking of moving, buying, selling, or renting in the next year. I'd love to talk to them. And, when you send out that referral link, or you send out per se the link for the review, that's when you would ask for that information back. And you never know, that may be like, my cousin in, they may be out of state.
Yeah.
They may be in another city in Texas. They may be in the same city in Texas and they're renting right now.
Yeah.
And they're like, they want to buy, they just don't know what they need to do. So don't be afraid to ask for those referrals.
Yeah, absolutely. What else we got?
Prospect consistently. So like I said, lead generation is part of what we do, right? So social media is how I do some of my prospecting.
And social media is, there she is. She finally came in here for a little bit. Social media is prospecting.
Yes.
Because when you're on social media, you're engaging with new agents, new lenders, new builders, new clients. That's a mass form of prospecting.
Correct.
Instead of picking the phone and be like, hey, do you want to buy or sell or rent? But if you have that one-on-one, hey, I like your video, and then the consumers, like, that is and should be a non-negotiable prospecting time.
Correct.
At least, what would you say, 30 minutes a day?
Yeah, I would say that you need to sit down and really, if social media is going to be part of your strategy, you got to have a strategy.
Well, and it should be part of it. It should be a non-negotiable strategy.
I don't think that you can just wing it. You know? And I'm even changing some things for 2023 to make sure that I'm putting out more educational content. Not just about the real estate market, but also about Fort Worth. And not just about Fort Worth, but about the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Yes.
You know, we can't really talk about schools or crime or anything like that, you know, but there's a way that I wanted to be able to talk about schools, and maybe it's just the informational part about a school district. Right. You know, I'm not going to go to this website, to find out the ratings on it. But hey, with Keller ISD, where my children live, it was a big decision for us leaving HEB ISD.
Yeah.
We were looking, when we were moving, school district mattered.
Yeah.
And so we had to find a place that we felt was comparable or better than where he currently was, and had the resources for him.
Yes.
And so Keller ISD had that.
Yeah.
And that was why we chose there.
And why do you think people with families move where they do? 99% of the time, it's because the schools fit the need for their family.
Correct.
And that's what it should be. And more agents should, instead of doing real estate, they should focus on the area specific, because who's moving in, right? California, DC, we talked about, Seattle, Vancouver, like, they're all coming here. And I tell the story that I had a client from California coming in, and God bless his real estate agent. We talked for 2 hours on a Friday. He said his no likes and trust in what all of that. And he's like, okay, so the agent called me on Sunday. They had gone from Hazlitt to Aledo to Ennis and McKinney, or Ennis and Midlothian, up to Prosper.
Wow.
And he ended up in Collin County. It was every single one. But because she didn't have video, she couldn't express the need. So she spent almost 15 hours with him in a 2-day period.
Wow.
But what if you take your social media and say, hey, buddy, here you go. Here's this part of that area, this part. And now when they come in, they maybe narrowed it down because they didn't see the local taco shops that they like, or the local coffee shops.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. That's the focus for 2023 is
I
to
love
be
that.
local about certain areas, and make sure that information is out, that if you are going to live in this area, here's your retail options.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you have we all have pets, right?
Yeah.
People need to know when you move somewhere that you got a good vet in the area. You know, I
Yeah.
think that's, if they don't have kids, that's the secondary. I think
Yes.
people are like, well, my dogs are my kids.
My dogs are my kids.
So
Where's
I'll
that
get a
vet?
good
Because I
vet.
need that
So
emergency
you
hour,
know,
just in case my dog bites each other.
Entertainment options, you know, like
Yeah.
where I live, I'm 15 minutes from downtown Fort Worth. I'm 15 minutes from the stockyards. I'm 10 minutes from the Speedway.
Right.
I'm 2 minutes from Alliance Town Center and Presidio.
Yeah.
And then up to 87 is where Rome and Boyd is, and it'll be 15 minutes. I'll be there, and they're building 10,000 homes out that way.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, I'm not far.
Yeah, you're not. Like, it's crazy. Like, Keller used to be so far. It's like Midlothian. Like, people said Midlothian so far, but when you look at it, I'm only 25 minutes to downtown Dallas and 25 minutes to downtown Fort Worth. And people are like, oh, really? Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I literally can get there in a blink of a button. I'm downtown.
It's when you look at the map, and I've had clients that have relocated here from South Carolina, Georgia, Mississippi, Louisiana. So when things like that, they ask a lot of questions because they just don't know, right?
They don't know.
They look at a map and they're like, God, I don't know. That seems really far. And sometimes I have to let them know, well, if you live here, here's how close you are to everything.
Yeah.
And if I have any video, I send them that video.
There it is.
I give them links to websites that might give them information on that city
or
that area. And they're like, thank you so much. You know, especially I had a family move here. The husband was working at the new hotel what is it, Dwyer's Hotel or something down in downtown Fort Worth. It's a brand new hotel that's open it's doing with the Stockyard remodel.
Okay.
So this is
like that down by Hotel Drover and that stuff.
That's the hotel.
Okay.
So he was moving here to work there.
Okay.
Well, I never talked to him until I physically saw him 3 weeks after I talked to his wife first.
Yeah.
She was the spearhead of everything.
Yeah.
School's important. He needs to make sure that he's not too far from work because we don't really know the area,
right,
and traffic and things like that. And so that was my job, right? To give them that information.
Your job.
You know,
that's your job.
My fiduciary duty was to make sure that my clients knew the information.
And not just go out and get a Lamborghini because COVID rates were really good. And now you're like, oh crap, what am I going to do?
And they love the house that they're in now. And I've touched base with them to make sure that they're good. I haven't. Last time I sent a text, I actually didn't hear back, so I've got to call them back again, and make sure, hey, everything's good. But yeah, you know, that was why he moved here, and it was for work, right? So never been in Texas before. They've been in Georgia and Florida their whole lives, and so now we're coming to Texas, and we don't know anything. So be that resource for people, and that's a new way to prospect, right? Is because if you're the informational. And maybe the guy that reached out to me the other day, maybe he's been following me for like 6-7 weeks, you know?
Yes, because there's stalkers on it. There is stalkers.
Anything because
there are stalkers.
They may be trying to see, are you a value to them?
Yes.
Okay, well, this guy, he's an agent. Hey, honey, I'm sorry for following this agent in Texas.
Yes.
I like the information he's been giving out. Like, check him out. You know, and
they're quiet stalkers, but you don't know.
Exactly.
Like you don't know what video just kind of puts the nail in the head and be like, oh, this is what we've been waiting for. Sheldon, can you help me? And here's the thing that agents don't realize, and lenders, those are some of the hottest and most incredible leads because they're not going to leave you.
Yep.
They're not going to go shop you. They're not going to give they don't care who it is. If you say, here's my team, here's my lender, here's my title, they don't care because they've already come to you.
Right.
Same on the lending side. If they're coming to me for an application, guess what? They're not shopping. They don't care because I've given them enough resource and educational value to know that this is what we're going to do. Here's how we're going to do it. Here's how we're going to get you to closing. Here's what we're going to do after closing.
Exactly.
And that's why social media is so important. And that's the mishap that people don't see right now.
Mm-hmm. I think you can do social media wrong. Like I do. Like there's content out there. I see that it can be a little rough.
So yes, if you always post that you're out drinking and always never post this and always post that you're having a good time with your Lamborghini, then you probably won't have a lot of clients.
Yes. I think you need to be relatable. I think in the age of, like I said, where people try to make sure that things are projected perfectly. I think sometimes people are looking for that imperfect person, you know, that's just like,
and they can see through that perfect person. Yeah. They know that you made it so perfect. So why would you want to go to that perfect person if they're going to cover it up? As I've had clients tell me that, like, I didn't go to this agent because, and it's just like anything else. When a client comes to me, I'm like, here's my real estate agent. They go search them on social media. They're like, can you give me someone else? Because I don't feel, and I don't know that they're going to give me the best the best service, because again, millennials have to have that social validation.
Oh yeah. And it's crazy. So the last team I was on, we met with Tomo. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've heard of them, a mortgage company. So mm-hmm. they started, a lot of their workforce started Zillow.
Okay.
Worked for Zillow. Okay. They don't work for Zillow anymore, and they left.
Correct.
And so they're starting a mortgage mm-hmm. section of that where it's all hands off.
Yeah.
You don't have to talk to anyone to get approved. You can get approved in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Time period.
And that's happening.
And they're talking about the millennials. And that's the thing. How can you reach them? Because they don't like, we know our kids don't like to talk to anybody, right? Like when they're out and they're like, tell the man what you want.
Even my kid, she texts me all the time. I'm like, can you not pick up the phone or come talk to me face to face? You're in the other room, by the way. You're in the bedroom.
Reading the room of who a lot of the purchaser are today are millennials.
Yeah.
And if they don't like to engage, but they just want to do it online, they're trying to get a feel for where things are headed.
Yeah.
So you always want to make sure that you evolve too in your the way that you prospect, because that can appeal to someone that's 22 years old, but maybe someone that's 52 doesn't want to do it online.
Yeah.
They want to go into your office, sit down with you, talk to you, because that's how they were raised, where they want to meet you face to face and get that feel for you and see if you're the person that they want to do business
with. They still want to do that touch thing to be like, you are that normal and you're not that robot.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's just making sure that you evolve with it. And so, like I said, the prospecting daily. When I'm at the grocery store, my local Kroger, just so y'all know, off Western Center, the lady has my business cards in her purse. So if you ever need a realtor and you're shopping, she's like, because I went in every morning. She's always nice to me.
Yeah.
Right. 6 a.m. after I come back from the gym, I'd go in there and get, whatever I needed for the day, for the house, or maybe to make dinner that night. But she's always smiling and just, hey, and she's always talking. And so one day I just started talking to her myself, and she asked me what I do. And I told her I'm a real estate agent. And she said, oh, well, you have some cards on you? Sometimes she talks to she's a neighborhood expert, right? Because she gets to talk to everyone.
Yeah.
So she may know things.
My Kroger has the same thing up there in Midlothian.
She's like, here, hey, there's an agent that comes in here all the time. So she has my cards because she asked for some, and I told her I'll bring you a stack.
Yeah.
And so it's just making sure she's prospecting for me, right?
That's free.
Because the way I think she's willing to do it, probably because the way I treat her every
day.
I don't care what she does or whatever. I'm gonna treat her as I want to be treated.
Yeah.
And we interact and we laugh and joke on a daily basis when I'm in there. And so therefore I think she has no problem if she knows someone's in need, that she feels comfortable that I'm going to take care of that.
Oh my gosh.
Because she's seen me outside of real estate. She's never seen me do real estate. She only knows the guy that comes in a hoodie, sweating with his headphones on.
Yeah, right.
At 7:00 in the morning, getting some yogurt and some blueberries. Hey, all right, see you tomorrow, whatever. That's who she knows though. Right.
Yeah.
So if she asks for my card, I feel that she feels comfortable enough to feel that I'm going to take care of people.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, there are so many nuggets today. I am so honored to have you. As you can see, Sheldon is all over his branding, his social. So Sheldon, how does someone find you if they need help?
Okay.
And is your brokerage hiring if anybody wants to come join your team?
Yes.
There you go. We always know that answer, but we always have to ask, because I had one the other day say, we're not growing. And I was like, oh, okay, we're always growing.
So I'm on Facebook, obviously, Sheldon Cooksey. I think I'm the only Sheldon Cooksey on
That's
Facebook.
right. He is the one and only Sheldon
no
Cooksey.
Confusion. You'll see me there. On Instagram, I'm the only Sheldon Cooksey as well. But it's Sheldon Cooksey _ DFW _ realtor.
There you go.
I am on TikTok as Sheldon Cooksey, Texas Realtor, because I tried to do the underscore and TikTok doesn't let you do
TikTok doesn't do it.
They try to be a little too just stopped it for me. I was like, no, this isn't gonna work. So I had to do Texas Realtor, and I was like, do I go back and change the Instagram one to Texas Realtor? And I was like, no, leave it there, because Dallas Fort Worth, I think like right now this area is growing, and you need to make sure that some, for us, those of us that work in this area, need to make sure that some sort of our name or something that we do branded, they know DFW.
Yeah. And that's why I'm the mortgage coach DFW, is because there's so many mortgage coaches and coaches out there. But when I brand myself to DFW, because I do encompass all of Texas, but I live in DFW, like this is where we pay taxes. This is where we see our friends, our family. This is who we serve.
Right.
And I am so honored to have you on there, Sheldon. I cannot wait to see what your 2023 holds. He's going to be on YouTube as well.
Yes.
And until next time, again, I am Glenda White with Verity Mortgage, the Mortgage Coach DFW. This is our Epic Podcast series. And until next time.
Bye.
I don't know how to end this. Hold on. Oh, hold on. There we go. Boom. See, recording. I don't even know how to do that.